Hi everyone, Expansion here. Welcome to a CherryTree video. This is a video of the new update where archery and fletching are the new skills that have been introduced. So this is pretty big. It actually changes combat quite a bit. Let's go through these changes. So first of all, you'll notice down the side here, just under the workshop, you've got the fletching station. Okay, so what you want to do first is you want to go in there and you've got the menu up there where it says select category. You can choose any of these categories. The default one is the arrow shafts, and you will only see the evergreen arrow shaft category open. You need to get to level 10 in that before the oak arrow shafts open, etc., etc., and you keep going and unlocking new ones as you increase the experience. So how does this work? Well, first you want to get as much of these as you can. You need a lot of logs in order to unlock each one until you get to the last one, which is the Jinko. And just letting you know in advance, Jinko is going to be pretty heavily farmed because of this. You'll see in a minute. So after you've done that, really what you want to do first is you want to make a bow, because you only need to make a bow once. The bow's not going to break, nothing's going to happen to it. So you go into bows and you've got all of these bows that you can make. Now, just starting with the evergreen bow, it's a pretty basic bow, and you'll notice that it's got a speed of 3 seconds and accuracy of 30%. So you're going to miss 70% of the time with this, and it doesn't have a damage bonus or a critical chance. You'd only be making those if you want experience to try and get up to level 129. Why level 129? Because that's when your elven bow is going to unlock at level 129 in the skill. So as we go up, you can see that the speed decreases, accuracy increases. You get to, say, the Jinko bow, which is one that everybody will be able to pretty much make first. Okay, 1.95 seconds each attack. Accuracy is 65%, a little bit of a damage bonus of 100 and a 2% crit chance. Having said that, you probably are thinking, well, what's this accuracy? Well, the bow does not, so if you're going to use a bow in battle, what your attack is has no influence on the speed of the attack. It's all got to do with the bow. So the better bow that you use, the faster your attacks will be, regardless of what your attack is in game normally. Okay, so you'll all need to make a Jinko bow. Why? Well, because you are going to need that for the queen bow. You can see down there, you need one Jinko bow to make a queen's, you need one queen bow to make a king, and you need one king bow in order to make an elven bow. But like I said before, you only need to make these bows once. So let's have a look at the damage. So you can see that was the Jinko bow. The next one is the Queen's. Bit faster, more accuracy, 500 damage bonus, and there's a 5% crit chance. You see the King's. Okay, faster again, 75% accuracy, 1000 damage bonus, 10% chance. Okay, and your Elven bow. Okay, this is the elite one. So 1.5 seconds speed. 80% accuracy, 2000 damage bonus, and a crit chance of 20%. Okay, we'll see this in action a little bit later. So once you've made your bow, okay, you'll be making all these Jinko arrow shafts. Okay, make a few now, just for fun. All right, and then we're going to be making arrows, arrowheads, and headless arrows. Okay, so let's start with the arrowheads. You can see this is all the mining stuff here that you need. Okay, and the queens, kings, and elven arrowheads require the fragments of the queen, the king, and the elven weapon fragments, respectively. Okay, so that's the arrowheads. Your headless arrows, so this depends on what type of arrow you actually want to make. So as you can see, they all require feathers. And the Jinko headless arrows down there, so I'm going to change it to 100. Now, having said that, I've changed it to 100. I'm going to make some. The only, what you'll have to do in order to change it is you actually have to buy this at the market trader. So go to the spend your gold section, and at the bottom, you can see the the Fletch, and I think it's 750 gold there. It unlocks it. It's a one-time unlock, and it unlocks the ability to make more than one arrow at a time. Okay, so we made some Jinko headless arrows. We have, let's make some elven arrowheads. And we will also now, so once we've made the arrowheads, we've made the shafts, we've made the headless arrows, we can actually make the arrows. I'm only going to make, say, let's go for 50 elven arrows because they require Jinko headless arrows and they require the elven arrowheads. So actually, let's make 100. Let's make 300. 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, a lot of experience there. Straight away, I've maxed out fletching. Okay, you can also make other ones too, like your stone arrows, etc. Okay, so I guess you want to see it in action now. Okay, so we're going to go over to our equipment screen. Now, you'll notice here, see how it says arrows equipped there? I've equipped some stone arrows, but you can equip whichever arrows you want. Okay, I've also got dragon arrows and I've got elven arrows, and that's all I've made so far. And over here, you can change your weapon, the bow. I've decided to put the elven bow on, but let's just put the Jinko. Oh yeah, let's put the Jinko bow on because I think most people are going to have that. And I'm going to use the stone arrowheads. Now you'll notice that doesn't matter what the bow is. It can be any bow you like. You can choose any arrowhead you like. You don't have to use elven arrows with the elven bow, for example. It's highly recommended you do because that's how you're going to maximize your damage. But you want to use your best bow and your best arrows all the time. But we're going to start with stone. And I'm going to put the extreme power stone on. You can see my stats are pretty inflated. So you all have to see for yourselves what happens here. I did a little bit of testing and I found that without any armor at all, I still get one shot by the Elven Queen. Now I've maxed wishes there, and I've also got about 3,500 challenger points in combat. So even that shows that the Elven Queen is still extremely strong. But I've got my best equipment on at the moment. We're going to see how this works. Okay, so rather than go straight into the Immortal Realm, I'm going to go into the Realm of Kings and just see what happens with the Orc King. So you will notice over here, there's a bow next to the shield. So that indicates you're using your bow. I'm still insta-killing because I've got the Eternal Ring on, but I'm doing about 15,000 damage to the Orc King. And at any stage, and if you decide I don't want to use arrows anymore, you can go, okay, let's flick over and I'll just use my weapon. And in this case, I'm not carrying any weapons. So I'm doing 26,000. You're probably thinking, well, hang on, what's the point if I can, without any weapons, do 26,000? If I go over to my bow, do 15,000? Well, the reason for that is, look at what I'm using. Even though I'm using stone arrows, I'm going to flick that over to elven arrows. Let's see what happens to this this Orc King. Okay, so now I've got look, 32,000 damage. Okay, 32,000 damage, and every now and then you're going to see more damage because I'm going to crit. Okay, just waiting for the crit to happen. Doesn't want to happen. Goodness me. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so you get the general idea of what's happening. Quite a lot of damage there. Just for reference with the Orc King still, if I use the Mystic Staff, you'll see 33,000 damage, right? So it's about the same at this particular stage. Okay. Going over to the Immortal Realm. I'm going to change back to the Elven bow. Okay, so I'm doing 41,000 to the Elven Queen. It's quite a lot of damage there. It's a bit hard to see with my account, unfortunately. Not everyone's going to be completely maxed. Okay, so what happens if you run out of arrows? Well, if you run out of arrows, it immediately exits the combat. You don't lose any of your stuff. You get it automatically, but it exits the combat immediately. Don't fancy using any more arrows at this stage, so I'm just going to finish this off like this. Okay, let's just leave combat. Okay, so that's how it works. You can make any arrowhead you want. You can play around with the damage, etc. Elven arrows, of course, are the best, but they do require elven weapon fragments. That's not going to be sustainable to keep that up. There is also, and I'm going to probably leak this now. Hopefully Adam doesn't mind. I'm pretty sure he'll be okay with it. So there is another secret bow that's coming, which is going to make the Mystic Staff look like a wooden stick. That's what the rumor is. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. Okay, next we're going to have a look at the 2 new pets. So if we go to our pets, go down the bottom, Timmy the archery pet and Archie the fletching pet. Now, I've already got Archie. He was really easy to get. Basically, you just have to gain experience somewhere here, okay? Anywhere you like, just gain experience and you have a chance to get the pet. Now, Timmy, I will have to probably use some cheap arrows, and each time you use an arrow, you're going to have a chance to get Timmy the archery pet. You will need to get those 2 pets if you want to wear the completion cape. So even though you finished all the quests, part of the prerequisites of actually wearing the cape is that you also have all the pets. Okay, so I just want to show you the speeds. Okay, so I'm going to go to my equipment screen. You saw how quick the Elven bow is. Let's go to the Jinko bow, which is still a pretty good bow. One other thing I want to just quickly mention is that if I take so let's start with the Drake's Ring on, so I don't have the speed, the extra speed there. You will see if I'm battling the Orc King, you can see the speed is significantly reduced, significantly. Okay, I'm going to leave there and I'm going to go back into the equipment screen and put on my Eternal Ring. You could do the same with the speed rings, the same effect, and do the same, and you'll see how fast it goes. Okay, so you still need that slot open. Now I'm just going to exit. One of the worst things you can possibly do is use elven arrows with rubbish bows. Okay, you always want to have your best bow, but do not use the elven arrows unless you've got the elven bow. It's just not worth it. Okay. One more thing to add also is that those that are free to play, there will be items added to the drop tables. Okay, the other interesting thing to note, now you can see in my inventory is all the arrowheads and the arrows and the bow, etc. It's taken up a lot of inventory room. Okay, well, spoiler alert, Adam is planning on introducing some more inventory spaces. You heard it here first on the YouTube channel. Okay, I really need to show you the critical damage because it's really cool and I don't know why I wasn't proccing before. Okay, so here we go. 40,000 is the normal hit. It'll eventually proc. What's the percentage? 20%? 48, there we go. It hit 48,000. So the critical damage it did it again is 48,000. There's a few times in a row. Bang. Elven Queen dead. How fast does she go down? Now, you'll notice the missing, it has nothing to do with my attack level. It's all about the bow. So, very quickly the Elven Queen is gone, and so are my arrows. So I've got to keep the arrows up. Okay, that's it. Well, hope you enjoyed that. It's a really cool feature of the game, I reckon. It changes things up a lot, especially with combat. You're not just aimlessly hitting with the same weapon all the time. You can make all sorts of different types of arrows, arrowheads, and it gives you a lot of things to farm for. So enjoy. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it as much as I have. See you next time.